People clapped. Cameras flashed. The crowd cheered his name, Arman, the nation's youngest millionaire, standing on a grand stage, receiving yet another award for excellence in leadership. His smile was perfect, his suit sharper than a blade, and his speech inspiring, polished, flawless. But behind the stage, inside his luxurious dressing room, something wasn't right. He sat silently, staring into the mirror. The golden trophy in his hand felt cold. His reflection looked back at him, not with pride, but with a question in its eyes. "Do you deserve this?" At that moment, Arman remembered a dusty room, a cracked mirror, and a promise. Years ago, Arman was just a boy from a small village. His father was a schoolteacher with barely enough to keep the lights on. Every night, after helping his father mark papers by candlelight, Arman would stand in front of the cracked mirror in their tiny home. "Someday," he would whisper to his reflection, "I'll make something of myself." But as the years passed, that boy's dreams started growing faster than his values. In university, Arman began winning debates and business competitions, not always fairly. He learned how to bend rules, say the right thing, impress the right people. Soon he was running a startup backed by investors and later manipulating markets, silencing competitors, and chasing numbers that glittered, but never satisfied. Success came fast, but peace? Nowhere in sight. Each morning, as he looked in the mirror, he would avoid his own eyes. He stopped talking to his reflection. Deep down, he knew he had become everything he once swore he wouldn't. Back in the present, on that big stage night, a small boy approached him in the hallway after the event. "Sir, I want to be like you," the boy said, eyes shining. "Tell me what it takes." Arman kneeled down. "Why do you want to be like me?" "Because everyone claps for you," the boy said. "You're important." That night, Arman couldn't sleep. He returned to the dressing room and stood once again before the mirror. The crowd was gone. The cameras were off. And the mirror didn't clap. It didn't lie. It showed a man who had everything, except the truth. For hours he sat, eyes locked on his own. And then he cried, not because he was weak, but because he finally saw who he was. And for the first time in years, he wasn't afraid to admit it. That night, Arman made a choice, not to walk away from success, but to redefine it. He returned money earned through manipulation. He exposed flaws in the system that helped him rise. He turned his company into a platform that trained young entrepreneurs. With integrity as their foundation, people called him foolish. He didn't care, because this time when he looked in the mirror, he smiled, and the mirror smiled back, because the mirror never lies. And once you make peace with your reflection, the world becomes a clearer place to live in. We live in a world obsessed with appearances. Every day, we scroll past perfectly curated lives, flawless faces, and stories that only show the brightest moments. We learn, consciously or not, how to mask our insecurities, how to speak in ways that earn applause, and how to mold ourselves into what others expect us to be. But behind all of it, when the noise fades, when the lights dim, when no one is watching, there's only one thing we truly cannot deceive: our own reflection. The mirror does not flatter us. It doesn't care about our trophies, our wealth, or our Instagram followers. It doesn't see our excuses or the stories we sell to others. It sees only the truth, raw, quiet, and sometimes uncomfortable. And no matter how deeply we try to bury that truth under layers of success, ego, or fake smiles, the mirror patiently waits for us to return, because it knows that sooner or later we must face ourselves. True character is not built under spotlights or through public praise. It is shaped in solitude, in those moments when we question our actions, wrestle with guilt, or wonder whether we're becoming the person we once dreamed of being. These moments don't make headlines, but they make us human. We all face crossroads, silent decisions where we must choose between what is easy and what is right. Many choose the easy path because it's paved with approval, faster rewards, and fewer questions. But the easy path often leads us further away from ourselves. It's when we're alone, standing before our own reflection, that the consequences of those choices are laid bare. The mirror doesn't lie, not to the confident, nor to the insecure. It speaks equally to the powerful and the powerless. It reveals the person you are becoming, not the person you pretend to be. And therein lies its greatest power. It doesn't judge, it only shows. And what we do with what we see, that is entirely up to us. So the question isn't whether we can impress the world. The real question is, can we face ourselves with pride? Because in the end, when applause fades and the curtains close, when even your closest friends are unaware of the truth, you will still have one person to answer to, the one staring back from the mirror. That person knows your fears, your lies, your struggles, and your potential. That person knows whether you gave up too soon, or if you kept going despite the storm. We cannot escape the mirror. We can only grow enough to meet its gaze without shame. And when we do, that's when we are truly free. Arman's story may sound extraordinary, but the lesson it holds is deeply personal, universal, and timeless. He was not a villain, nor a hero, just a man, like many of us, trying to make his way through a complex world. He stumbled, he rose, he got lost, and then he found something far more valuable than success: self-awareness. We all chase something. Some chase fame, some chase money, others chase approval, love, perfection. The world keeps whispering, do more, get more, be more. And in trying to meet those demands, we often lose a quiet voice inside us that says, are you okay with who you're becoming? That voice is your mirror. It speaks in silence. It reflects in stillness. It cannot be bought or bribed or blinded by status. For Arman, it took a small child's innocent admiration to awaken his inner truth. But for many of us, that awakening can come from pain, from guilt, from failure, or even just a quiet moment alone when the weight of everything we've hidden becomes too heavy to carry. The truth is, transformation never begins with applause. It begins with confrontation, the moment we decide to stop pretending and start becoming. And here's the beauty of that decision. It's never too late. You can always turn around. You can always rewrite your story. You can always choose integrity over illusion. The world may not notice your private victories, but the mirror will. Every time you choose honesty over convenience, kindness over cruelty, effort over shortcuts, the person in the mirror grows stronger. And when you fail, as we all do, it is not the failure that defines you. It's whether you have the courage to face yourself, own your flaws, and try again. The mirror is not your enemy. It's your mentor. It doesn't mock your scars. It reminds you that you survived. It doesn't point at your mistakes. It gives you a chance to correct them. It doesn't measure your worth by your achievements, but by your growth. When Arman returned money he didn't earn ethically, when he risked reputation to speak truth, when he started teaching values over victory, he lost some fame, yes. But he gained something irreplaceable: peace. The kind of peace that comes when you no longer need to run from your reflection. That's the kind of life worth living. Not one filled with endless claps, but one that lets you fall asleep without regret. One where your success doesn't come at the cost of your soul. One where your reflection doesn't challenge you, but champions you. So, what can we take from Arman's journey? That the world will always chase perfection, but your reflection will always seek authenticity. That people may be fooled by your words, but your mirror hears your thoughts. That life isn't about never falling. It's about having the courage to rise. Look at yourself honestly and try again. Every day, we pass mirrors, real and metaphorical. They are moments of choice. Moments to check not our appearance, but our alignment. Are we living with integrity? Are we walking toward who we want to be? Are we proud of our reflection? Not because it looks perfect, but because it reflects effort, honesty, and growth? Remember, the mirror never lies. And if you ever feel lost, broken, or unworthy, don't look for validation out there. Go back to your reflection. Talk to it. Listen to it. Heal with it. Because once you make peace with your reflection, the world cannot shake your confidence. Your mirror is not your enemy. It's your most loyal truth teller, your silent guide, your lifelong companion. And when you start living in a way that makes your reflection proud, that's when you become unstoppable.